What's up everybody, Vash here with another vlog. I wanted to say we're still up and running with this guy. Now, I know that I had shown you guys when I was the last video that I had actually made these guys here. These are replacement pieces to replace the one that is on there currently. That one is PETG, and I wanted to make just a couple of them in ABS, just so that they would handle higher temperatures and potentially not deform. So far, it's been holding up pretty well. I don't think the chamber temperature has reached a point where the PETG would deform, but I also want to mitigate potentially any issues in the future. So I did print these out. I'm actually working on a project right now and I don't want to stop it, so I'm gonna let it continue doing that. But once this first piece is done, I'm gonna throw this on there and I'm gonna replace it and then continue on. I'm pretty sure the PETG one will hold up because I'm only printing ABS and ASA right now, but I just want to make sure that everything's okay. So I'll link again to this one. If you look at the previous video, I have it in there, but I'll link it again in this one if you're just finding it now. A number of people reached out, said, oh, just tap the original extruder gear setup and then just cut off the top. Wanted to do that, but I lost the power adapter to my soldering iron, so I gotta find that because I'm in the process of getting ready to move, and so I couldn't do that. But finding this adapter has been a real godsend. So I've been able to get this thing back up and running, and so far it's been running great. So I can't argue with it. Only thing is, like I said before, I can't put the cover on there, but I'm not really worried about that. That's more of an aesthetic. But so far so good on this. I'm actually working on a shoe rack stand, which I'll be able to make however tall I want. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this comes out and see if this works for what I want. But that's what I have going on here. Like I said, review coming on this soon, just because I wanted to put it through its paces. And now that I'm using some more industrial type materials, some stronger ones like ABS, ASA, and I have some polycarbonate that I'm gonna try on here. We'll see how that comes out. So, but look for that review coming up real soon. Right now on my X1, I'm printing out a laptop stand. I had one before that I had used for years. Sadly, I left it sitting on my desk, and my desk was in just a bunch of sunlight came in and the room got hot and it deformed. So I'm printing it out, not the same one, I'm printing out a different one that actually is an all print in place, but you can adjust the height. So I'm printing that out so I have my work laptop at home. When I work from home, I can adjust the height on it, be real nice. And then I also have a laptop stand that I have at work. So I was looking at a lot of different options, but I found that printing out the ones I wanted were much better than the ones I could buy. So for the most part, I like to print out the things that I can use versus buying stuff. So both of these are gonna be real nice. Instead of having to buy things, I can just make them. Just takes a little bit more time. But yeah, that's what I have going on with these. Also, I'll link to this down below. I'm not sure how many of you check out Kickstarter for stuff, but I've backed over 100 projects on there over the years, and not all of them came out. Sadly, I got taken for a few of them, which happens. But there is one from a company, and I'm actually gonna make a video about this. This from one company called Gutshot Games. They basically are making a 3D printed gaming table. I backed their first campaign and got those files, printed out my own gaming table. It came out really great, but now they have a new campaign with basically new parts and new setup that attaches to the old one, or you can just print out a brand new setup and so forth. But their campaign actually ends today, which is the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's Day. But that ends today, and then they'll be releasing the files real soon. Right now, I'm actually going to be in the process of calibrating my K1 because I printed all the original pieces on that printer, and they all came out really well. But my printer has changed since then. done a number of upgrades, so I really want to dial it in so I get really high quality prints out of it when I print out the new game board. So I'll be doing that with my K1 real soon. And if you guys haven't had a chance to, I would check it out. I'll put a link to their My Mini Factory page because that's where they release the files at. But I'll link to the campaign as well, so you guys can take a look. Like I said, unfortunately it ends today, so if you haven't gotten into it today, by the time this goes up, you're probably gonna miss it. But I would definitely still check it out, because one nice thing about it is that you can customize it however you want. You can use whatever materials you want, and you can use whatever colors you want. So if you want it to be all hot pink, you can make it all hot pink. You can make or do like what I did. I made all the tiles that went on the game board all marble looking, so it looked really awesome. But you can use the boards for whatever you want. Maybe card games, maybe D&D and so forth. But my significant other and I want to have a gaming table, so when we have friends come over, we can play Settlers of Catan, Magic, Lorcana, whatever the case is. So we'll have like a dedicated table to play games. One that can also be collapsed and hidden away and put together whenever we need. So, and I know some people say that's a lot of pieces when they look at it. Honestly, it doesn't take long to put it together. I've done it multiple times and it's really, really easy. So, but I plan on working on that with my K1. That is what I have going on there. Now for my Elegoo. I know some of you are probably wondering, he hasn't done anything with it, and I think I've narrowed down the issue, and it's updating the actual screen, which I've been trying to do, but it hasn't worked. So still waiting on a response from Elegoo on that, but I'm actually going to take this and work on that this weekend. Hopefully I get it back up and running so I can actually use this as well. I kind of would like to use both of these to print all those pieces out that I plan on making. But yeah, because again, like I said, it's a great printer. Few of my friends have Neptune printers. One of them because I gave it to her. Gave her one of my Neptune printers. And then a few of my friends have the larger, I believe he has the Neptune Plus, and another friend I know has the Neptune Max. And she uses it for cosplay for her and her daughter. And my other friend, he uses it to make a lot of life-size parts for some stuff that he's working on. So they're very good printers. I just want to get this one back up and running because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything about it except for the noise from the fan, but that's neither here nor there. It's a great printer and I want to start using it again. So I'm going to be working on that. And then outside of that, I just have a few resin projects I have going on. I just finished printing out this Boba Fett. I'll link to this file. This is from Printed Obsession. Yes, I do like their stuff. Amazing statues. But I'm going to actually paint this guy. I backed another Kickstarter, and on that Kickstarter was these airbrushes that are wireless, and they have these little tanks that attach to them, and they're supposed to help you paint. It's, I guess the best I could say, but I plan on using that, and this will actually be the first model that I truly paint. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm probably going to print this again because I'm almost positive that I'm going to screw this up. If you guys have any recommendations on how to paint, or what kinds of paint you should use, or just even recommendation on how to get started, let me know, please. Let me know. Put it down there. Put it down in the comments. Let me know, because I will go to town on this with whatever I'm able to, so I can figure out how to do it. Because I have some other busts and statues that I've made over the years, and they're just kind of in their base color, but I was thinking I should just paint them. I think it'd be really cool. And I think the fact that I'm getting the airbrush, it'll help me do that with those. So, but my first shot at it is going to be with this guy here. So this and a few other projects I have going on that I'm going to be printing out, which will be a combination of FDM and resin. So, but it's all going to start here with Boba Fett. But that's what I have currently going on here. I have a few prints that I'm going to be making with this guy here, and then I need to replace the FEP on my Anycubic M3 Plus. I actually might have a spare, but I got to go through and look. I think I have it stacked in there, but if not, I have some I've ordered, so I'm just waiting for that to come in. There's a small nick on there. It hasn't perforated all the way through, even though it's like, I know it's a very thin sheet, but like I can see that it's scratched and it might end up opening up. I had that happen on my original Photon, and I got resin on the screen. Thankfully, it didn't go everywhere. I was able to kind of catch it before it got worse, but I want to make sure that that doesn't happen, period. So my recommendation to any of you out there, resin printers, make sure you have spare FEP on hand. Definitely, and also the proper PPE, gloves and everything. But yeah, definitely have spare FEP. You never know, you may have a little piece that's attached to the bottom in the vat, and then when it levels, boom, it cuts or perforates the film, and then you can't print with it anymore. So definitely make sure that you have some spares on hand. But that's what I have going on with these guys here. Also, actually, I just realized probably this weekend, I'm going to go through and actually I'm going to dial in my Creality. This is actually my favorite resin. If you do resin printing, let me know what you guys use. But Creality has always been my favorite resin. I have printed so many different miniatures with this, and they've always come out really great. I really like this blue as well. That's why I buy it all the time. But this has always been my favorite resin. And I'm actually very curious because very recently, I believe it was Formlabs just came out with resin for other resin printers. And if you know anything about Formlabs, they're very much a closed ecosystem. Their resin is for their resin printers. All of their equipment generally is for their resin printers. So you generally don't get to use any of their stuff in other printers. I'm pretty sure you could find a way to do it and probably test and go through all that process, but it's probably very arduous to do. But they recently just came out with some tough resin that they said they've tested in Elegoo printers and Anycubic printers just to make sure that it did work, so people had another alternative for high quality resin. So I'm actually looking forward to that, because if you've had a chance to look at anything made on a Formlabs printer, a lot of their stuff's pretty amazing. I'll give it to them. I'm not willing to pay that price tag because I am not in that level of an industry. So, but they do have some amazing quality printers. At my job, we actually have a few of them, and they're fantastic. I've actually seen a number of the prints that come off of them. They're really great. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm hoping, because I don't know the price of it yet, I'm hoping it's not too expensive. I don't think I'd pay more than like 30 to 40 bucks for a bottle. But if the resin is as good as they're saying it is, then, you know, I'm looking forward to trying it out myself and trying it out on these guys. Maybe for some mechanical stuff that I'm working on. I have a friend who needs a prototype made, so I might end up trying some of that with some of that. So, but yeah, that's what I have going on here right now. And then one last thing. Like I've said before, I've been printing for almost a decade now, and I've made a ton of different things over the years. Some that I thought have been pretty amazing, and some that I'm like, okay, it was great for the time, but now I look back at it and I'm like, it does not measure up to the quality of prints that we have these days. So, what I'm talking about is this, and I'll show you guys in just one sec. So here it is, Mjolnir. Now, I printed this, I believe it was about 5 to 6 years ago, and I made this on my JG Aurora A5. If any of you know that printer, you know that printer sucks. But I got it at a really good deal at the time, and I was looking for a larger scale FDM printer that was 300 by 300 by 300 or 400, and that fit the bill, and I'm pretty sure I got it for around $350, which was a really good deal at the time. But the printer turned out to suck really bad. I actually still have it somewhere. I think I have it in another room, but man, I did get some decent prints in the very beginning, but then it just over time, the quality just degraded to the point where I just stopped using it. But it was big and it took up space, which really sucked. But I printed this out on it, and at the time I was so happy. I think it came out really great. My spray painting job on this is absolutely atrocious, but it was one of the larger prints I had done at the time, and it was a really cool cosplay piece that I made, so I was really happy with it. This particular file was done by the Broken Nerd, and I'll link to this down below. Stuff's on Thingiverse, and man, just really great quality stuff from him. But I was really happy with this at the time. But when I look at it now, in comparison to like the stuff that I'm able to print now, it does not measure up. So this is actually one of those ones where I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna remake this, paint it properly, and then do a comparison. So I'm pretty sure that at the end of the day, it's gonna look better coming off of these printers here and when I make all the pieces, but I just really wanna see how far it's come. This at the time was coming off of a decent printer that had a really big print volume, which I don't wanna say was rare, but just wasn't common at the time. A lot of printers were smaller ones, like your Ender 3s, your Anycubic i3 Megas, your ANET A8, which was my very first 3D printer. So that was kind of your general size. If you wanted to make something big, you generally had to cut things and then glue them together. And the fact that this stem, I believe, is 310 millimeters, that printer was able to actually fit that space. So I was able to print this all in one go and print these and glue everything together. I probably should have done a bit better job of sanding to get rid of the layer lines and painting, but I was new to it at the time. But now I plan on remaking this, and I'm gonna do obviously a bunch of it on here and probably on here, so I can make it really quickly. Put it together, actually create and attach the leather handle or the leather grip for it, and then just compare the two. But I'm actually really looking forward to remaking this. So if you guys have done cosplay, let me know what you guys have made. I'm actually really curious as to what people make. Have you made this? Have you made Stormbreaker? Have you made anything else? Let me know in the comments down below. But I wanted to say thank you again, guys. I really appreciate it. Today is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there. I really appreciate you guys watching. But we are done here, and I gotta get back to somebody who's waiting for me. So I want to say thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You guys all have a good day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you later. Peace.